And now, the distinguished television news commentator, Mr. Howard Beale.
Prepare yourself for a perfectly outrageous motion picture.
So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And that's the way we all felt in September 2008 when the economy tanked. We were all mad as hell. Mad because of what they had done to us all, these geniuses who run the economy. And mad as hell when they demanded even more money from us to save themselves. Now, don't forget, these guys had actually taken to calling themselves the masters of the universe. Yes, their great financial houses were unshakable until the winds of reality blew in and the whole thing collapsed like a house of cards. Who knew? But, you know, what's that to us? We said, hey, you know, you're the big guys. You bet big. You lost big. Now suck it up, right? Tighten your belts. Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. All those other cliches you fling at us every time you go to cut public service jobs, cut EI, and loot our pension funds. Suffer, you dogs. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, they said, we can't suffer. We're too big to fail. If we go down, we all go down, Vinny. Financial blackmail. Actually, that's right, said the politicians, you know, the guys we elect to look out for our interests. We've got no choice. But don't worry, everything is 50 billion, 100 billion, under complete control. 150, 200 billion, there. All fixed, right? No, no, not quite. So now our economy is on life support because the masters of the universe turned out to be nothing more than common garden variety con artists. But now the con artists want to nurse the economy back to health. No, no, we're mad as hell and we're not taking it anymore. Right? Well, not quite. Because then they rolled out the propaganda machine to get us all into line.
Is there a time where this government would see that the situation was so critical that going into deficit actually would be an option?
No.
That going into deficit actually would be an option?
No. No.
And every other voice was drowned out except the voice calling for bailouts. Nothing is wrong. Just carry on, pay up, cough it up, choke it down, all for the sake of the economy. Bail out the big boys. It's the only way out. But even then, we didn't buy it. Most of us did not vote for Stephen Harper. Most of us voted for the opposition parties who were working on another way out. But Harper had the answer for those guys. He shut up the shop, closed down our parliament, took his ball and went home. But don't worry. He promised the banks the $200 billion bailout. Oh, the public will pay for that, and then some. No wonder we were mad as hell. But they weren't finished with us yet. Then came the bonuses. And more bonuses, month after month, week after week. The super rich need constant incentives. You know, they're very easily discouraged. But they get all the say, and we get to pay, pay, pay. But there's nothing for them to apologize for, nothing for them to be ashamed of. They're just doing their job. In fact, according to them, they've done nothing wrong, right? So no need to change their behavior. You get it? Just carry on with the bailout boom. Well, anyway, that's their story and they're sticking to it. And don't worry if you missed it. You'll be hearing it again and again and again from all the usual suspects on all the usual media outlets. The masters of the universe, they stumbled for a moment, but now they've got their bearings and our money, and it's all fine now. They've weathered the storm. The worst is behind us. Yes, that's it. Sweep the recession under the rug. Now it's all just blue skies shining on me. Thank God. And those of us who dodged the bullet, you know, we didn't lose our house, we didn't lose our job. We just breathe a sigh of relief and back to work. There's no other shoe left to drop. Is there? The truth is, they're not done with us yet. Not by a long shot. Now, don't forget they didn't do anything wrong, so now they can just return to the original objective, right? To turn as much of our life into a cash and carry proposition for them. And to create a world where everything we need, from education for our kids, health care, safe food, and clean water, is all something we have to pay for. No more social services, no more Social Security, no more one for all and all for one, just the grim dog-eat-dog all day, every day. Roar! Roar! The way they see it, every service the government provides is a potential business for them. The way they see it, money going to government is money that should be going to them. So government is holding them back from getting what they want. They like to eliminate government altogether. Well, except for the police and the military and the courts, the institutions they need to preserve law and order. But they're not stupid. I mean, there might be a lot of other things, but they know that a direct attack on government would meet with a lot of resistance, probably more than they could overcome. So they attack government indirectly. They get elected to office, and they become the government. And then they begin to choke off social programs so they can't work anymore. Their scheme is to sabotage government, to undermine our faith that it can actually work, and finally convince us to offer little or no resistance to the complete elimination of government as we have known it. That's the other shoe they want to drop. But not quite yet. They still have to soften us up a little bit more. So we'll get another round of the blame game, and it will be the government who will be fingered as the problem. And one more time, we'll be lectured about the need to cut the fat from government. And one more time, it will be the public service workers who are that fat. And one more time, we will become the ham in their sandwich. But you know what? They've got a big problem. A big, big problem that they haven't had since they screwed up things big time back in 1929. The economic model that they said couldn't fail, failed again. So it turns out that the golden idol of the free market does not only have feet of clay, but the whole thing is starting to look like a cheap knockoff from China. And it turns out that the truth is their so-called free market system, an economic system based on the unrestrained pursuit of money, capitalism, is not what they said it was. It's not magic. And in fact, it's not infallible, and it is not a self-correcting, self-maintaining magic money machine. It is just one way of running an economy. A way constructed by human beings. And so it can go wrong, horribly, horribly wrong, which is just what happened on September the 16th, 2008, and almost ruined all of us. But you know, this crisis, this huge crisis, is one big opportunity. So all the old truths and cliches are now suspect. Maybe capitalism is not the only way. the best way to run an economy. Perhaps the masters of the universe are no different than the little man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz, twiddling dials and pulling levers to dazzle us all into believing he has the answers to everything. We've seen behind the curtain. We know they're not magic. They don't have the answers to everything. So looking for alternatives is not something we can just laugh off anymore. In fact, looking for alternatives is accepted as something we need to be doing. We can now clearly see the door they've been trying so hard to hide from us, the door to the way out, the door to a different world, a world where government is part of the solution, a world where public services and the workers who deliver them are respected and valued, a world where tax fairness is the key not only to social justice but a strong economy as well. We must burst through that door. We must rally all our forces, from the national office, from every component in every province, from every local and every component in every province, from every place of work. We must make our voices heard in the workplace, in the lunchroom, and in every after-work hangout. We must press our advantage, and we must make it plain that a different world is possible. We must move forward with grit and determination and spunk and humor and all the best we have in us. And we must do this together, as one. No waiting to see what the other guy's doing, nothing half-hearted, nothing half-baked, full throttle, pedal to the metal. We have got the opportunity. We've got the tools. We have the people. All we need is the will to make it work. There's never been a better time. There's never been a better place, and there's never been better people. So let's do it. All together, now.